am joined today by Council President Nick Mosby, Commissioner Michael Harrison, Kim Eshelman, Director of Office of Public Health and Preparedness and Response at the Health Department, and there you go, Lieutenant Holmes from the Baltimore City Fire Marshal's Office, and also our Fire Chief, Chief Ford. It's a pleasure to be here with you all today. As you know, it is hot. I'll say it again, it is hot, hot. In fact, we're supposed to hold today's pressure outside, but with the code red advisory, the safest place for everyone right now is inside. Summer is here, and it's critical for us to stay safe and healthy as temperatures continue to rise over the next few months. And we know in Baltimore that also means the humidity. While the heat alone can be harmful, humidity in the air often takes temperatures over the edge, putting folks like children and older adults at risk. I really want to encourage all of our residents to take precautions, stay hydrated, and seek shade or air-conditioned areas as they go about their day. I will now turn it over to Director Eshelman for further remarks on how we can all protect ourselves from the heat during the summer months. Madam Director.
Thank you, Mayor Scott, and thanks to our public safety officials here today. My name is Kim Eshelman, and I serve as the Director of the Office of Public Health Preparedness and Response at Baltimore City Health Department. I'm here today with an important reminder about staying cool during Code Red extreme heat. So this week, Baltimore's Health Commissioner issued a Code Red extreme heat declaration that lasts through today, June 30th. As a reminder, a Code Red extreme heat declaration occurs when the heat index, that is how hot it feels outside, reaches 105 degrees or higher. City cooling centers are open today until 7 p.m. and residents can call 311 to be directed to the cooling center nearest them. Residents who want to visit a cooling center are encouraged to call ahead to ensure space is available. To help prevent the spread of COVID-19, residents who visit a cooling center must wear a mask and maintain social distancing. Though temperatures are forecasted to not remain at the Code Red extreme heat level going into the holiday, this weekend will still be very warm, and it's important that Baltimore City residents take steps to protect themselves from the heat and enjoy the weekend safely. Heat is one of the leading weather-related killers in the United States, resulting in hundreds of fatalities each year and even more heat-related illnesses. Heat can be a silent killer, especially affecting those with limited economic means or with significant chronic illness. Baltimore experienced above average summer temperatures in 2020, which led to 6 hyperthermia-related deaths. Additionally, about 100 patients entered city emergency departments specifically complaining about heat-related illness during last year's Code Red extreme heat season. There are precautions residents should take to keep cool in extreme heat. If you can, use a quality fan. The circulating air helps cool the body by increasing the rate of evaporation of perspiration. Drink plenty of water. Drink water, even if you're not thirsty. Persons who have epilepsy or heart, kidney, or liver disease, those on fluid-restricted diets, and those who have a problem with fluid retention should consult a doctor before increasing liquid intake. Eat well-balanced, light, and regular meals. Avoid using salt tablets unless directed to do so by a physician. Limit intake of alcoholic and caffeinated beverages. Keep a wet cloth handy to cool off your skin. Make sure you know the signs of heat exhaustion, which include nausea, confusion, and heavy sweating. Heat exhaustion can be followed quickly by heat stroke, so it's essential to get medical care as soon as possible. The symptoms of heat stroke include dry, hot, flushed skin, nausea, and rapid or slowed heart rate. If you suspect someone you know is suffering from this condition, get medical help immediately. Heat stroke can kill. Never leave children or pets alone in closed vehicles, even for short periods of time. Most importantly, stay cool. Spending even a little bit of time in air conditioning can help give your body a break from the heat. So please be careful this 4th of July and have a safe and happy holiday. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Director. As we go about planning our summer activities and outings that will keep us cool in the heat, It is also absolutely imperative that residents in Baltimore continue to get vaccinated with the COVID-19 vaccination. As of today, 59.4% of city residents have received their first or single dose of vaccine, while 53.3% of our residents are now fully vaccinated. We cannot let ourselves get comfortable with those numbers. We have to continue to see them grow and continue to push our neighbors, our family members, our friends, everyone that we work with, people that we care about to get vaccinated. We are still working towards the benchmark of 80% of our residents being vaccinated in order to reach herd immunity and be out of the woods of COVID for good. We, of course, set that goal for early next year. And as a reminder, our mask mandate will be lifted to align with the state effective tomorrow, July the 1st. While masks will not be required after July 1st, this announcement and an update to our orders do not preclude anyone from wearing a mask in public or private settings, nor does it prevent businesses and other entities from requiring masks of any individual who enters their establishment. This update removes masking requirements for all when indoors. However, I strongly urge every unvaccinated person to continue to wear a mask when unable to socially distance or when they're in large crowds. As we continue to battle this pandemic and take steps toward recovery, keep in mind that COVID is still dangerous and potentially deadly to our non-vaccinated residents. Maryland state data shows that 97% of our new COVID-19 cases are unvaccinated people, and nearly 90% of hospitalizations and deaths are unvaccinated individuals. We've said this consistently. We're not out of the woods yet. People are still dying. We have to continue to push people to get vaccinated, and if you're not vaccinated, please wear a mask. Take the necessary precautions and be safe. For more information on available walk-up sites and vaccine registration, please visit covax.baltimorecity.gov. That's COVAX.baltimorecity.gov. Additionally, I would like to provide an update on the status of front-facing city services. As you know, we have been working to take steps to fully restore public access to resident-facing city services, which has remained online throughout the pandemic. We will begin restoring in-person access to prioritized front-facing services by mid-August. These services include, but are not limited to, water billing and customer service walk-in center, our recreation center operations, the senior citizens division and therapeutic recreation, our MBE and WBE certification applications, the Mayor's Office of Employment Development's one-stop shop career centers and youth opportunity centers, or known as YO centers, housing department permits and inspections, the liquor board license pickup fee and fine payments, drop-off and in-person hearings, 48-hour and peak hour parking enforcement, and events at the Baltimore Convention Center. Again, this is not an exhaustive list, but represents the first phase of resident-facing services that we will be fully restoring this summer. Please anticipate updates with additional details and information regarding these services and others as we work the plan to reopen city buildings to the public in the near future. And now I'd like to switch gears just a little. We all know that the 4th of July fireworks took place has been a staple in the city for many decades, and I am extremely eager and optimistic to see what that's going to look like next year, and also very optimistic that we will, before the summer is out, get to see some sort of a fireworks display here. But as we think about safe alternatives, I want to remind folks that the personal use in fireworks and sparklers are not only dangerous, they're also illegal. Today, I stand here with the fire department, our police department, our council president, to remind you about the dangers of fireworks and to offer a few alternatives that you can use this weekend and throughout the summer. And we'll start with Commissioner Harrison.
Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Mayor. Fireworks are not only illegal in Baltimore City, but they are extremely dangerous. They can cause loss of vision, severe burns, and other serious injuries, even fires. Not only can they cause physical harm, but they can cause anxiety, stress, and loss of sleep to our neighbors and pets. Our officers continue to respond to calls for service and are not only looking for those lighting fireworks and committing these offenses, but also examining locations and searching for illegal sales and distribution of fireworks. In addition, we will be actively patrolling and looking for anyone discharging a firearm into the air, which is also illegal and dangerous. Bullets come down with the same velocity as they go up. Those caught firing guns into the air will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. BPD is committed to working with all of our residents of Baltimore City to keep our neighborhoods safe and to hold those accountable who are causing harm to our neighborhoods. Members of the community are encouraged to report locations where fireworks are being stored, ignited, and are sold. As always, if you see something, say something. Those who wish to remain anonymous can utilize Metro Crime Stoppers tip line at 1-667-LOCKUP or simply call 911. At this time, I'll turn it over to Inspector Delholmes.
Good morning. Thank you, Commissioner. Fireworks are illegal in Baltimore City, but we really want everyone to remember that they also are very dangerous. Over the past several years, fireworks have caused life-changing injuries, and with that said, fireworks are not safe. Thousands of injuries have been seen in the emergency room each year during the fireworks being mishandled, causing a range of injuries. Firecrackers, large and small, contribute to 11% of ER treatments. Sparklers are to be safe for kids, can reach temperatures up to 2,000 degrees. While fireworks display may be canceled this year in Baltimore, we strongly urge and consider safe alternatives for the enjoyment of the holiday, using glow sticks for one, noisemakers, confetti-filled balloons, and even possibly going out and using a projector in the backyard or things like that, and watching fireworks online with your family members. So we also would like to indicate that safety is a very big priority for this year for fireworks, and whatever you do and however you do it, we want you to celebrate safely and to enjoy this holiday season. And now I'd like to turn it over to our City Council President, Mr. President.
Thank you, Lieutenant Holmes. I'm here standing in support and in solidarity with the Mayor, Brandon Scott, as well as Police Commissioner, Fire Chief, and the Health Department, Lieutenant Holmes, urging Baltimore City residents to let's have fun on the 4th of July weekend, but let's ensure that we do it in a safe and respectable way. As was stated, and it's important for us to continue to state, fireworks, including sparklers, are illegal in the city of Baltimore. They're illegal because they're dangerous. We've seen fireworks cause injury. We've seen fireworks create fires. We've seen fireworks destroy lives. And that is what this message is today. Let's ensure that we're enjoying ourselves, but let's do it in a way that we keep ourselves, our community, and our city safe. So again, I'm here to stand in support and in solidarity with the administration, because I understand and know that the fire chief, as well as the police commissioner, through the leadership of this mayor, will ensure to try to protect Baltimore City residents as much as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. And as residents of the city of Baltimore, we want you to know that your safety remains our top priority. I encourage everyone to take advantage of the safe alternatives, as Inspector mentioned, and celebrate safely and responsible as you have your cookouts this weekend and eat your crabs and eat your hamburgers and hot dogs, but we want you to be safe. And for the record, if you have extra crabs, the mayor is looking for an invitation. But if not, I have to show up at Chief Ford's house, and where he comes from, they don't do crabs well. With that, yeah, we have to make sure that the chief knows how to pick them first. With that, we'll take a few questions.
For the sake of time, we're going to ask outlets to limit 2 questions per outlet.
Who's first? Jane?
Actually, I have a question on 2 different topics. Do you want me to ask them at the same time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, first let's just follow up on the COVID update. Los Angeles County, for one, is reimposing an indoor mask mandate due to the rise in the Delta variant. Granted, obviously, the cases have really come down in Maryland and the city of Baltimore. Are you still confident that this is the right move starting tomorrow?
Yeah, I think, Jane, you know that I am not a health professional, and I'm going to always take the guidance of our lead health professionals. We're going to continue with this path. We're going to always do what we do, and let's look at the data and see how things are moving. And if we need to adjust, we will adjust quickly. We will not be afraid to do that because we're always going to put the saving of lives over everything else.
My other question involves what the Board of Estimates did this morning, which was to approve the settlement of the lawsuit that was brought by some residents of Harlem Park. The commissioner has included a written apology in that settlement. What is the message that you give to the residents of Harlem Park?
That it should have never happened, and that on behalf of the city, that I deeply apologize, and what we're going to make sure is that we're working with this commissioner and this department, working with our partners in the council and at the state level to put things in place to make sure that it never happens again. I know it won't happen as long as I'm here, and we cannot have neighborhoods, people who are just simply trying to get home and get a good night's rest to go to work, to not be able to enter their house. That is something that should have never happened, and it won't happen again. And I've seen, Jane, many times now on unfortunate incidents of homicides where police officers are walking individuals to their homes, not away from their homes when things like this happen. So I've seen the change with my own eyes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am?
Mayor, so when it comes to reopening some of the city services to the public, can you provide an update on the timeline for City Hall specifically, city meetings, city council meetings returning to in-person?
Yeah, we're going to continue to work through the process. This, again, is about making sure that we put in everything that's as safe as possible for our workers, for the people that are visiting, the folks that are coming to do business at city buildings. We expect to be able to give you guys an update very quickly in the coming weeks, but we do not have that level of detail. But I also want to remind folks that we have to also think about and consider how many people who didn't have access to city public meetings before online meetings now have them. And we have to consider out how to keep those individuals who simply can't take off at 9 o'clock in the morning, but can listen on their phone to come in. We have to balance all of that out and, of course, balance out the health and safety of everybody.
Is it a COVID concern still right now, even though we're seeing other city halls across the state reopen? Some people that I've talked to say that they feel like it's a lack of transparency because they can't participate in person and talk to their elected leaders in person during these meetings.
The elected officials, they talk to the elected officials in a virtual way. This is about making sure that we have all the health and safety protocols in place. Again, when you think about our city hall versus the other city halls, you have to think about when our buildings was built versus when the other buildings were built. And we have to make sure that things are in place, sorry about that, things are in place to make sure that people are safe. We are going to open up the buildings. We're going to continue to have open meetings as we have, but we're going to do that in the most safe and responsible way and continue to lead in that way.
Back to the fireworks question. You were talking about how there might be a display later on this summer. What do you want to tell residents, like maybe give them something to look forward to? Hopefully they'll fly this weekend and maybe give them something else to shoot for.
Just simply stay tuned. We're looking forward to seeing how we can make something happen in a safe way.
And for the fire department, can you maybe give some statistics about damage to property with fireworks? We talked a little bit about, how many people are in the ER, but can you talk at all about damage to property when it comes to the weekend of 4th of July?
Well, the dangers to property during this time of the year is mainly going to come from illegal fireworks being fired off and possibly striking and landing on your property. And with this type of heat and dryness without any rain could possibly cause damage and start fires. And also, we want the folks to be careful while they're doing, having their cookouts. We don't want them to be right up on their property or anything that's combustible while they are having an enjoyable time, because we want it to remain safe and for them to continue to be able to have a enjoyable time with their family without injuring themselves while they're having their cookouts.
Emily?
Mayor, I was curious if you think that you have the legal authority to continue to have virtual meetings without the state of emergency in place. Is that something you've discussed with your law department?
You know it will. We'll make sure that we discuss and follow all the rules. But Emily, to that point, also I think it's important for us to know that public participation in city meetings has went up doing virtual, because you have to think about the average Baltimore resident who simply doesn't have the time and can't afford to come down here, but they can do it from home, they can do it from where they are.
And with the reopenings that are outlined for mid-August, if someone shows up to City Hall, do they need to have an appointment with one of those places to be able to get in, or can the public simply walk inside?
Well, I'll just say, people have been walking into the front desk in City Hall the whole time, as you know. But these buildings, these services, for the most part, are dispersed throughout the buildings, right? So they'll be able to walk into Abel Woolman, they'll be able to walk into the Benton building to get those services that they need. There are going to be safety protocols in place, as there should be anywhere these days, and we're going to make sure that they're safe and that our workers are safe. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Hey,
Lynn
sir.
Long with the Baltimore Business Journal. Yesterday, we reported that the Maglev builder is seeking to condemn the Westport property, which puts the redevelopment in jeopardy. I was wondering if you just had any reaction, and if there's anything your administration could do, considering that it was reported last week that you guys are opposed to the Maglev project.
We know we want Westport to be developed, and we will be working with our team to make sure that we can do everything in our power to make it happen.
And I wanted to just follow up real quick. You voted on the resolution in 2017 that approved the franchise for the Maglev builder. I was wondering how you go from voting to approve that to now coming out against the Maglev.
Well, yeah, it's about growth, it's about learning, but also resolutions are non-binding. That's not an ordinance, right? And we have to understand that there's so many investments that can be made into public transportation. Here in Maryland, we can be investing in, we had a big announcement with Amtrak that will be able to take MARC service to DC from Baltimore in under 30 minutes. Those are the kind of things we should be investing in first, and we can still have conversations about the other things as well. Thank you, everybody. You got a big crash, man?
Thank you.
You sure?